Come on, bitch. You better stop. What the hell happened? Come on, Sophie. Come on.
Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sands and Jim Jonas with another episode of Veterans in Politics. Today we have a special segment. We have Bridget Kearns, who was involved with an altercation by Assistant North Las Vegas City Attorney's sister. What's her name? Claudia?
The sister's name is Diana Aguayo.
Diana Aguayo. Aguayo.
Claudia Aguayo is the assistant.
And Claudia Aguayo is the assistant
North Las Vegas
city attorney for North Las Vegas. Apparently, the North Las Vegas city attorney has been interfering with the criminal investigation regarding her sister, and Bridget Kearns is the victim. Bridget.
Yes.
Jim, you don't have anything, right?
No.
Bridget, why don't you just, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Could you give us a bio about you?
About me?
6'2", bench 220, what do you do?
No, right now I stay at home and I take care of our house and our household. Recently had a granddaughter born, so.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. Family is very important to me. I've been in Las Vegas a long time. I've moved away and come back.
How long is a long time?
Since 1978.
Ooh, 78. 78. Jimmy Carter.
Yes.
Jimmy Carter. Okay.
Did you graduate high school here in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. What high school?
I went to basic high school and then I went to a private school.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so you've been here for a long time now.
Yes.
Okay. What else about you?
I have 2 daughters,
Okay.
3 grandchildren.
Okay.
Try to stay in my own lane, mind my own business, have a peaceful life. That's about it.
All right.
A very simple person.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's fast forward. I thought she was going to have a real crazy bio, you know? Right.
No.
Fast forward. Tell us about the incident.
My incident?
Yes.
My incident happened June 2nd, 2020.
Recent.
Yes.
Okay.
A few months ago. It was after a family court incident where my...
Hold on. Everything is from family court.
Everything seems to derive from there.
Yes.
Okay. Continue, please.
The incident at family court really doesn't involve me. It's my partner and boyfriend, Leonardo, was going through a divorce.
Leonardo.
Yes.
That sounds like a sexy name, huh? Leonardo.
Or smart, Da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
Sounds like a Ninja Turtle.
The blue one.
Okay. The blue one.
The blue one. Yeah.
Okay.
He was going through divorce negotiations. The divorce was granted finally after 2 long years, almost 2 long years of
2 years of divorcing somebody.
combative,
Wow.
just combative court appearances.
Who is this judge, by the way?
Judge Bill Henderson.
Bill Henderson.
Yes.
A buddy of mine.
I'm sure. He's a buddy for everyone. The divorce was granted that day. To get the divorce proceedings, like everything done, negotiations done, we had a car at our residence that was acquired during his marriage.
Okay.
It was his vehicle, but she kept complaining about it.
Who's she?
His ex-wife, Diana Aguayo.
Diana Aguayo, who is a sister to the North Las Vegas City Attorney.
Yes, Claudia.
Claudia.
Just to appease her, he did give her the car. She was awarded that, and then the divorce was finalized that day.
Okay. Type of car?
It's a black Dodge Charger.
Oh, okay.
It's an old one. Didn't run. Had multiple problems. We were happy to get rid of it.
Save you from sending it to the junk shop. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. During that court appearance, Judge Henderson told Diana, "Do not go to your ex-spouse's residence." the attorneys will work out this agreement and get the car in the next 14 days transferred over to you.
So he gave her a verbal stay away order?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did he put that in writing or at any
Well,
time?
it's in the minutes.
Okay,
It's been recorded.
Okay.
It's still
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been recorded, and there's a voice
He said
recording.
it from the bench?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She took it upon herself after that, after she did tell him, Your Honor, I don't know where they live. Well, we have her on video picking up stuff from our residence. We had left her, in order to establish no contact or no altercations with her, because every time she comes around there is a problem.
Right.
We had put her daughter's belongings in the back of Leonardo's truck so that she could pick them up off the driveway. They were out there 10 minutes. She knows where we live. She knew where we lived.
And you got her on film?
And we have her on film, yes.
Okay.
We left the court. You know, we were happy. Child support was adjusted the right way, how it should have been.
You know, there's a standard formula for child support.
Yes, and it was adjusted appropriately.
Until you get through that quadro thing that really screws things up. Whoever invented that is a total butthead. Go ahead.
I'm not sure about that. We were on our way home to our residence, and, you know, we were talking. Everybody was in a good mood, you know. It wasn't like a normal court day where we go home and we have no resolution and nothing to complete our day, you know, there's no closure.
Right.
That day, we were happy with the outcome. The divorce was finally granted. It was the end, supposedly, of a nightmarish court battle.
Did Leonardo have a divorce party?
No, we didn't even have time to do that.
No. I heard those are fun parties to go to.
Really? Yeah. We'll have to check into that. As we arrived home, I have a daughter that just turned 20 a couple days ago.
Okay.
I seen her outside, and I seen Diana's black car outside in front of our house.
Okay.
My daughter was 7 months pregnant at the time.
Okay.
I see her hysterically crying.
Your daughter?
My daughter,
okay.
Yes. She's just crying. Diana's there in her car still screaming her obscenities at everyone.
Screaming at your pregnant daughter?
Yeah. I find out that Kyra had told her, leave. You don't belong here, you need to leave. If you don't leave, I will throw rocks at you.
And Kyra is your 20-year-old daughter? Okay.
She has also witnessed all of the harassment, the court proceedings, all of many cases that have happened because of this person.
Okay.
So she was telling her, you need to leave.
Right.
She did throw rocks at her. She admitted that to the police.
So your daughter threw rocks?
Yeah, we have rocks in our yard.
At Diana Aguayo's vehicle?
Yes. She did pick up the rocks. She threw them. She admitted that freely.
Rocks? Were they pebble rocks?
Yeah, the little rocks that you have in your yard, you know, decorative yard. No, it wasn't any. It was just a small handful of rocks. Yeah. She had a passenger in her car. His name is Luis Gamboa.
Sounds like a boxer.
No, he's not. He was also not doing anything to de-escalate the situation, just adding to it, screaming and yelling. They did take the rocks, they threw them back at my daughter. They did this as I arrived, so I see rocks coming out, flying towards my daughter crying.
And you being mama.
Being yes, mother and grandmother, because my daughter is pregnant at this time.
Right.
And the doctor has told her no extreme stress, you know. He had already put her on bed rest.
Okay.
Kyra, you know, wanting to protect our home, because we don't know what she's there to do, and she's done things so many times before, did confront her, which, you know, you're at home. You have a right to defend your property and your household and your family.
Yeah. Florida has a stand your ground.
We do too.
Yeah.
As I arrived home, I see my daughter crying. It doesn't sit well with me. The same person that has attacked her, attacked my partner, attacked me.
And when you say your partner, you're talking about
Leonardo.
Leonardo. Okay.
Yes. I've watched a lot of pain caused by this person. I get out of the car and I go to confront her. Well, she's driving back and forth. We get back in our vehicle and we're going to chase her out of the neighborhood that we live in.
Okay.
So as she's driving, we're driving, and I'm telling her, you need to leave. You're not supposed to be here.
Okay.
She's trying to film or whatever she's doing that makes her look great in her own light. But she's also telling us, I'm calling the cops, you guys are assaulting me. At this point, there had been no physical contact with anybody except for those rocks. We turn around, we come back home, we pull in the driveway, here she comes again, driving around.
Now she's stalking you.
The third time she's drove around to come back for this altercation. Mind you, she's caravanning with her mother in another car. Her mother is also following. So we don't know who's in all of these cars.
Right.
You know, we pull back into the driveway, I get out of the car, and I'm full aggressive mode. Yes. To me, it's logical, it's understandable. You're attacking. I don't know what you're doing. I'm telling her, get out of the car. If you're gonna do this, if you wanna attack someone, you're not attacking my pregnant daughter. Right. This ends today. Well, yes, it ended that day. As I'm yelling at her, Leonardo comes up behind me and tries to de-escalate by removing me, walking beside her car. He picks me up, we go to our yard, which happens to be in front of her car, but off to the side. She backs her car up, aligns it with our bodies, and we're standing in our yard. She floors it, goes over the curb, hits both of us head on with her vehicle.
So she struck you deliberately with the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
We both hit the hood.
Oh, wow.
As she drives through our yard and into the wall of our house, Leonardo's thrown off.
Let me stop you right there. Where does Leonardo find these cray-crays?
I'm not crazy.
No, the other one.
She's had multiple husbands, so apparently a lot of people find her.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. All right.
He flies off after being, hit in the wall of our house. He flies off to the side. I am embedded into the wall.
So there's a separation wall between, there's a buffer between, which is the wall between the street and your home?
No, it's my home. It's my actual residence that she's driven through my dining room.
Oh, so she pushes your entire body through the house?
As I come up...
But not using the door, but using the wall.
The car hits me at my knees.
Okay.
With the bumper. The hood hits me at my waist. I fly onto the hood and I hit my chin on top of the hood, but my legs are parallel with the hood and they are driven through the wall of my house. All I could hear is my daughter frantically screaming.
And she's pregnant.
And she's pregnant. Yeah. I can hear the car trying to reverse. And my thought is, she's not getting away. No.
Even when you're embedded into the house?
Yes. So I start grabbing the hood of the car and pulling myself out of the wall. And I pull my feet out of the wall and I get loose from the wall and I get to the driver's side window. And I'm telling her, you're not leaving. And my daughter's still screaming. And my son-in-law, Hunter, runs out with a bat. And that bat was introduced at a time when I was in the wall. They're claiming it was introduced at a time when she was just driving around. Okay. He didn't hit her car with that bat until I was in the wall. At that time, he struck the passenger side window where Luis Gamboa was sitting. Okay. Luis was sitting there and he was screaming. While that's going on, I'm reaching into the car and I'm trying to grab her. Leonardo comes behind me and he reaches in the car and he's trying to push the engine to go off. But because it's not in park, it's not turning off. The car is not turning off.
Oh, wow.
I don't see it, but he sees a yellow handle and then the knife come out and he sees her swinging it. I'm still pulling.
So the driver of the vehicle that just pushed you through the wall of your house now has a knife?
Yes. It's a yellow-handled knife.
Okay.
It's a type of knife that the dagger portion of it goes into a hairbrush or a comb.
How big is the blade?
I'd never seen the blade. Leo did. It was probably about this long.
Over 6 inches, you say?
Maybe.
Isn't there a law on how many
Maybe.
inches you could carry as far as knives?
Yeah, I think it's 3 inches though, so if it's anything over 3 inches.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
sure exactly. Because of the adrenaline,
So she starts swinging this knife at you?
she stabbed me first in my chest, right above my heart.
Well, hold on a second. So is she still in the driver's
Yes.
seat of the car?
Yes.
And so what hand did she use to stab you with this knife?
Her right hand. The left hand, she's trying to push me, or she's fighting and hitting me while I'm trying to grab her and push her.
Where are you, on the hood?
No, I'm at the driver's side window. I've pulled myself out of the wall at this
Oh,
point.
you're at the driver's
and
side
I've made
window now.
myself.
Okay, okay.
I've made my way around the car to the driver window because I did not want her to leave.
And she's stabbing you with the knife?
Yes.
After she just ran you over?
Yes.
And she stabs you above the heart?
The first stab was to my left breast,
Okay.
right above my heart. I had stitches there. I guess maybe subconsciously I felt it because I started to push away.
Okay.
And that's when she started stabbing me in my arms.
In your arms. Do you have any scars from your arms?
Yes, here, here, here. She stabbed me once down my back, but the blade slid down my back and just left a scratch instead of a actual puncture.
So she's trying to kill you.
Yes. At this point, she's trying to kill me, and she turns to my son-in-law and she says, "I'm killing you next."
Okay. Please continue.
I don't realize, I guess, that I'm stabbed because of the adrenaline, and I can still hear my daughter screaming.
Were you on any kind of drugs?
No, I don't
Alcohol?
take medication, no.
Okay.
No. Leo pulled me away. She started to back up. Her car was...
She didn't get a beat down for doing all this?
I believe that I did hit her a few times. I know that at one point I couldn't stop the wild flailing, so I started grabbing her. I grabbed her by the hair to pull her out.
All right. She has a knife in her hand. Who subdued her? Who took the knife away?
Nobody.
Nobody subdued her?
Nobody. She put the car in reverse and started to drive away.
She drove away? Mm-hmm. And with the passenger in the car?
Yes.
Who's an accomplice to the whole thing?
Yes.
And a caravan, there's another car with the mother?
With the mother.
So she drives away?
Yeah.
What happens
The police were there within, it didn't even seem like a whole minute.
Okay.
They were already
Where
there.
are all these neighbors?
A couple of my neighbors said that they heard the commotion.
Okay.
One of the neighbors said she heard the commotion, she went to her TV to watch the video. As she's seen all of the things unfolding, she sat there and watched from inside of her house.
Oh, so she had a camera
She
rolling.
had multiple cameras that's picked up the whole event
Your neighbor filmed the whole thing?
from start to finish.
Oh, that's a good piece of evidence right there.
We don't have that evidence.
Why not?
Well, the other neighbor, Terry, came out and she told me that she didn't have a camera, but she heard the commotion.
Okay.
So we did canvass our neighborhood, and we asked our neighbors who had video.
Right.
But that's jumping ahead a little bit. That night, as I'm being loaded into the ambulance to go to UMC Trauma, the mother is there. The mother remains on the scene. The mother gives a false statement to the police.
The perpetrator's mother?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Her mother and the caravan behind her remains on the scene, gives a false statement. Meanwhile,
What did she say?
she basically said that we just started attacking her for no reason. She
And
was just there and nothing happened. She lost control of her car.
she lost, and you stabbed yourself, I bet.
I stabbed myself.
Okay. Normal stuff on a what day was this?
Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Going up on a Tuesday, I think.
You were just bored.
Yes.
After
bored.
you got ran over, you figured I'm just going to top it off and stab myself.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure everybody believes that, right?
Well,
They should put a perjury charge on her for false statement to a police officer, but please continue.
police officer, court officials, everything.
Okay.
After they load me in the ambulance, I'm at UMC Trauma, getting stitched up, having x-rays. One of the police officers approaches me and tells me that she's been apprehended about a block away from our house.
Okay.
There was no weapon in the car.
Of course not.
She had thrown that out. There was, however, drugs in the car.
What type of drugs?
We don't know, and that's disappeared from the police findings. Her arrest record, it never appears anywhere on there.
Is it in the police report?
It is,
It's in the police report.
yes.
Did she get charged with drug possession?
As far as I can see from all of her other cases, there's nothing about a drug possession charge anywhere.
Okay, so what did she actually get charged with?
Assault with a deadly weapon 2 times, and assault, domestic battery with a deadly weapon.
Domestic on her
On him.
baby's father?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the police officer tells me she's been apprehended. There is no weapon. She must have got rid of it. And that also there's drugs in the car, which doesn't surprise me.
Okay. I saw a video of well, I couldn't really make everything out, because, you can't see faces, but
Yeah.
it's a video of a car running into people.
That's me.
So that's you.
That's us. So that video, after I get out of UMC Trauma, I do go right over to my neighbor's house, because as I get home, I've been informed that her sister, who is this assistant city attorney for North Las Vegas,
What's her name?
Claudia Aguayo, has arrived on the scene. She's
course.
talking to the police officers. She's getting information from the police officers.
What jurisdiction did this happen in anyways?
Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas.
Okay.
So she has really no jurisdiction there.
Okay.
It happens in Las Vegas. The police, while I'm at UMC, tell me this is a slam dunk. This is a very easy open and shut case.
Anytime somebody tells you it's a slam dunk, do not ever believe them.
I didn't believe him, but he did tell me your neighbor caught the whole thing, the whole entire incident,
On tape.
from start to finish, on video, and we've viewed it.
Okay.
Now the police have told me they viewed the whole entire video.
Okay.
By the time I get
Did
out,
you get these police officers' badge numbers in there?
I have it all in the report.
Okay.
By the time I get out of UMC and make it back home, I go across the street to my neighbor, because I know I can see her cameras. And she tells me I only have 30 seconds of clips I can give you. That's all I have.
Okay.
So the video that you've seen, that 10 seconds of me approaching the car, Leonardo grabbing me, and then us being driven into the wall, it cuts off right at the point where I'm getting driven into the wall and he's flying off after it hits the wall. It doesn't show after that me pulling myself out of the wall, me being stabbed, or anything that happened in that time frame.
So you think somebody got to your neighbor?
I truly believe it.
Okay.
Because for the police to tell me that they've seen everything from start to finish, they gave my daughter a ticket for throwing rocks because they seen it. They seen it on her video. The whole incident lasted probably about 5 minutes. The police officers watched the whole entire scene. They gave Kyra a ticket accordingly because they saw her throw the rocks.
Which is your daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
And she admitted, because telling the truth is important.
Right.
She admitted, yes, I did throw rocks.
Okay.
They gave her a ticket for that. If there was no video, how could they give her a ticket? They gave Hunter a ticket.
Did they go by the testimony from the perpetrator?
There really hasn't been a testimony, only false police statements.
Okay.
The video was viewed in its entirety by the police department. My understanding of that...
Which is Metro?
Metro.
Okay.
My understanding of that is when the police view a video and it's evidence in a crime, they confiscate that video or they take
True.
Yeah, they do.
they take a copy of it.
In my line of work, trust me, I know all about
Yes.
it.
Because they need
It's
that for
common
trial.
sense.
Yeah. Especially if you're dealing with a attempted murder charge.
So my neighbor told me, this is all I can give you, this is all I have. I was not sure whether the police had the video or somebody else came and took it. When we went to court on July 1st, Justice Court,
Who was the judge?
we never even seen the judge. We never made it past the Assistant DA, Kelsey Einhorn.
Okay.
Diana Aguayo showed up with her sister Claudia Aguayo. Luis Gamboa showed up as well. And Alba Aguayo showed up also.
Who's that?
Alba is the mother
Okay.
that caravanned over. Luis was the passenger in her car. Mind you, they've all given false statements. They all lied on their police report to make themselves look like they weren't doing anything over there. We were at Justice Court, July 1st. Everyone's there, you know, with the COVID masks, everything on. Everybody's a little bit on edge. We are separated from everybody else, the four of us, me, Leonardo, Hunter, and Kyra, and we see them approach in their group, so we stay at one end. She has a different attorney. I believe his name is Joshua Tomczak, and he shows up. We see the assistant DA coming our way, and I had a feeling that it was her. Later it was revealed to us that it was her when she called us in for a sidebar meeting before going into court.
Why would the assistant DA, not the city attorney of Northwest?
No.
Okay.
Of Justice Court, calls us in for a sidebar. As we're sitting in the little room off the side of the courtroom, there's a victim's advocate, Dawn Wood, Kelsey Einhorn, which she's the prosecuting attorney, and a bailiff.
Okay.
So we're being questioned about the incident. The line of questioning was, how do we know that you didn't stab yourself? Where is the evidence? You need to provide evidence that this happened.
So they're treating the victim as a suspect, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
The police officer that was there that took the report, he was outside in the hallway too. He's the one that's seen the whole video. She went out, she talked to him, he got up and he left.
Really?
Yeah. That was before we went in for the sidebar. When she asked me what evidence do I have, I just didn't feel confident in sharing everything with her or the people that were in that room. I didn't feel like justice was going to be served because I have seen this play out with her multiple times.
Why do you say that?
She gets away with a lot of things. Her sister covers up a lot for her.
So the North Las Vegas assistant city attorney covers up for her sister. Mm-hmm. What evidence do you have to support that?
She's readily told people that. And I have multiple court cases which she's named in.
Okay.
Most of them are traffic citations, but that's a separate issue.
Do you have a list of all the charges that was on
My incident?
Diana Aguayo?
Mm-hmm.
Could you read all the charges?
Just in my case?
No, all of them.
Oh, all of them.
Because there was a list of charges, right?
Oh, yeah. So just in my case alone, there's domestic battery with a weapon, a knife, domestic battery with a deadly weapon, car, break, injure, or tamper with vehicle, battery with a personal weapon, hands, possible Schedule 1, 2, 3, or 4 controlled substance, first and second. Those are just in my case. Some of these other cases stem from traffic court, where she's admittedly told people that she's had DUIs, but I looked that up and there's no DUIs ever been on her record. But some of the funny things that I found is not really funny, kind of makes you mad, because once you realize what this is, It's not right. It shows cover-up on all different levels, not only on my criminal case, but since 2002, traffic cases, traffic court. The NRS numbers just don't align to some of the things that she's gotten in trouble for, and most of them are just put off as illegal parking tickets.
So you're saying that she had they dumbed the charges down to something?
All misdemeanors.
Minor.
Misdemeanors. There's been several incidents where she doesn't even show up to court and warrants are issued for her arrest. There's been issues with us where she's slashed our tires.
I saw that video too. That she went on the driveway and started slashing tires.
Yeah, and carved into the paint, carved into the windshield. We do have video of that. However, even though that's in a subpoena for that event number and that crime, it's not being addressed. It's actually been told that they don't have anything on that. But that event number is on the subpoena that we were supposed to go to. Instead, she's taking a lesser charge of a misdemeanor to slashing 2 tires and paying restitution of $800, which doesn't, it's not the crime that you committed. You slashed 10 tires. You carved into a car. You carved into the windshield. You were caught. You're seen on video. Your car that you ran me over with is seen on video.
Have you filed a complaint with the state bar against Claudia Aguayo?
Not yet.
Okay. Have you filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office?
Not yet.
Okay. I know that Diana Aguayo, the suspect in the whole thing, she has a misdemeanor trial coming up for the slash in the tires.
Yeah.
I believe that's September something.
September 14th.
Okay, and then she has another trial coming up. I think it was 3 counts of
September 30th. That's my case.
Of charging 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Yeah. The car, the knife. What do you think is going to happen with these cases? You think that the assistant city attorney of North Las Vegas, the sister to the suspect, you think that she's going to try to
most definitely
interfere?
Most definitely. This person spent 5 days in jail. She spent 5 days in jail.
So you think there's a big cover-up down there?
Well, cover-up, no, but that's her sister, and she's going to do whatever it takes to not let her get in trouble.
And you believe she has influence with the Clark County District Attorney's Office?
Definitely.
Do you believe she has influence with the judges?
Yes.
Do you believe she has influence with the police officers that arrived on the scene?
With the police officers, not so much. I have spoke to a couple of the police officers because since that incident, it's been relentless. The police have been at our house several times. The mother called the police to pick up Leonardo's daughter, knowing that they're not supposed to be over there. Then they called the police. She called the police to have the police come get the car. And the attorneys were supposed to handle that. Right. She's telling the police, I'm 5 minutes away, let them know I'll be right there. I had to explain to the police, she's on house arrest. No contact means she cannot come over here. But she's steadily pushing. She's pushing because she gets away with it. These crimes have escalated.
Well, here's the interesting part that a lot of people don't know, and I didn't know it either until Mike McDonald, state Republican chair Mike McDonald. But, if you're under house arrest, or not even just house arrest, but if you are not supposed to contact somebody, it's not just physical contact. So even under house arrest, she's not even allowed to call.
Well, she hasn't really called. She looks for alternative ways to get under our skin.
They call it soft stalking.
Yes. We had CPS show up at our house.
For you?
Actually, for the daughter, saying that, just making false allegations. The lady was very nice.
Okay.
We spoke with her.
So Diana Aguayo
Yes.
was married to your current boyfriend, Leonardo, what's his name?
Esquivel.
Okay. And did they have a child?
Yes, they did.
They have a child?
She's
How old is the
7.
child? She's 7. Is the custody already worked out? Is visitation and all that?
It's been worked out. Visitation has been worked out. The court with that whole thing is every time something is worked out, she wants to change it.
Okay. So how come Leonardo is not parading her back into family court, letting them know all these charges on her and take custody from this cray-cray?
We tried.
And what happened?
So his attorney, Lisa Syke, filed a motion.
Isn't that a name that we know?
Yeah. Filed a motion for custody.
Okay.
Diana Aguayo spent 5 days in jail. She was out filing her motions. Her sister was filing her motions. They put together a piece of art for Judge Henderson to read, filled with lies, how enraged we were, how we attacked her that day, all different things. So when we did come back in front of the judge, or actually when Leo did, Judge Henderson just basically ripped him a new one. Didn't listen to anything that anybody had to say.
You think somebody got to the judge?
Well, it wasn't our story, because our story was never heard. Our evidence was never seen.
Why is that?
Those motions, and that day...
He has a constitutional right to provide evidence. He has a constitutional right to defend himself.
He does.
And the judge is supposed to...
acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did he file any disciplinary, judicial disciplinary
We haven't
complaint
done
against the judge?
anything yet, because we're waiting to see with these court cases. They keep getting extensions. That day, July 1st, when we were at court, and I spoke with Kelsey Einhorn about the case, and she dismissed herself from the sidebar room. I could hear her speaking to Diana Aguayo's attorney in the hallway, making light of the subject. Oh, well, they have a video, it's 3 seconds long. Okay, well, we'll get that dismissed. They filed a motion that day to have all video evidence dismissed.
Why? It sounds like the
paperwork.
video evidence is supposed to be the hallmark to this thing, because
Well, that's what the police said too. So I
the
don't...
video don't lie.
I don't fault the police officers at all. I think they did an awesome job. They were very understanding. They were very thorough. They were on the scene fast. My problem is with the judicial system now, not police.
Okay. Did you file for a restraining order?
I tried to several times. I kept getting kicked out of the system.
Why?
I have no idea. I still don't have any
How
idea.
do you get kicked out of the system?
I don't know.
You
It just
got
kept-
hit with a vehicle.
It just kept sending it back
Pushed
to
you
9.
through your house wall, and then you were stabbed several times, and you were having problems getting a restraining order? Really?
I finally got one July 1st.
You shouldn't be finally out one. You should have had one while you were in the hospital.
I know.
Getting stitched up.
No.
So have you thought about filing a civil lawsuit
Yes.
against her for damages, mental stress to your daughter, unborn child? Have you?
That's the other thing is, yes, I have. But the DA asked me to sign a paper when I was there that didn't really sit well with me. So some of my treatment during this whole thing, mental, has not happened because I signed a HIPAA statement saying they can have access to my records before I knew all of this stuff.
Why would you do that?
Because the DA told me I had to.
Had to.
I have to because I was
The only thing
injured.
you have to do is die and pay taxes.
I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die that day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You shouldn't. I wouldn't release my medical.
Well, I signed that paper, and since then I have found out
I would do it on a limited. I would do
all
it
the
on a
other
limited
things.
basis. You only could see this.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
I would really like to retract that paper. I was told at that time, and you have to
Do you have a lawyer?
understand, I do, but not for the criminal part, because nobody will represent us against them.
Well, the DA is supposed to represent you in the criminal.
She's supposed to, but they all work together.
Wow.
And that's how I feel, I'm sorry. I don't know if she does or not, and I don't know if I'm making a statement that is not true, but it seems that way to me.
So when are these court dates in case people want to like show up and...
The court date for the slashing of the tires, where there's only one case being heard, is September 14th.
And what time?
That's Justice Court, and I believe that is...
Who's the judge on that?
9 a.m., and I don't see... It doesn't say here.
And was there any...
Probably won't say the judge.
No, it doesn't
It'll just
say
say the department.
Yeah,
What department is it?
JC02.
Department 2?
Yeah.
When, bail, was there bail for,
Yeah,
Diana?
so this is just that other case. These are all the other cases that she's been involved in.
Do you know what the bail amount was?
Yeah. Bail stands, counts 1, 2, and 3, 5,000 and 5,000 total bail.
$5,000 was the total bail for
Running
for
someone over and stabbing.
attempted murder?
Yeah, but she didn't get an attempted murder charge.
Domestic violence is 50 grand.
Assault with a deadly weapon twice, right? Yeah.
Really?
Yes,
You're lying to me. For real, it's $5,000?
here in black and white. It's public record.
Oh, wow. It smells like a cover-up to me.
It smells like a sister that's very troubled and the other sister trying to save her at any cost.
Well, you know
One of
what?
the things I wanted to add real quick, so what you were talking about with the traffic tickets, right?
Yeah.
And that possibly being DUI cases because she's bragged about it, right? Well, somebody who really truly understands the law to get it to something, because I mean,
These are all her traffic cases,
just-
printed from,
yeah, just to let the viewers and listeners know, pretty typically with DUI cases, if you can get a DUI dismissed or dropped down to a lower case, it is, or a lesser offense, it's very typical, almost 99.9% of the time, is reckless driving. And anybody who pulls up your record and sees reckless driving pretty much already knows
they know.
what
And
happened.
that's why I think it's illegal parking.
Yeah, it goes even deeper. Like, you gotta really, truly know somebody to get it all the way down to illegal parking. Now,
DUI.
From a DUI. Now,
But isn't there a law against that though, to push it down like that from a DUI to illegal parking? That's a huge
Here's the thing
stretch.
on those, okay? On those illegal parkings, I is in quotation.
Right.
That means she was parked within 50 feet of a railway. So does she live by the train tracks? Is she parking on train tracks? Are all these addresses where these citations were given to her,
Yeah,
are they
that's
on
true.
train tracks?
That is
Did they
true.
not think of that?
I pulled that up. That
Did
is
they not
pretty
think of
interesting.
that? Yeah. That's right here. That's the NRS code.
Because there's actually
there.
A couple bus drivers that got fired from Citizens Transit because of that.
Have you wrote a letter to the city manager or the city attorney of North Las Vegas?
No. No.
Or have you tried to schedule a meeting with the mayor of North Las Vegas?
No.
Because you know he has an open door policy.
A lot of people have open door policies. It's what's done behind closed doors where nobody can see that is what this happens.
But I think that if I mean, to cover up try to cover up an attempted murder, that's I mean, that has to be like put out there. People need to know about that. I mean, you got an assistant city attorney who's supposed to prosecute people doing exactly what her sister's done to you.
Imagine how many people she's put in jail for doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, and it's hypocritical.
It is. It is.
You know? So what are you going to do about it? Brittany Kearns?
Brittany?
I mean,
No, Bridget.
Bridget Kearns.
Well, I mean, this is my first step. I am not going to be quiet.
Okay.
I'm not going to take this laying down. She destroyed my family. My daughter doesn't reside here anymore. She is in fear for her unborn child.
Right.
My grandchild and my daughter have left.
Okay.
I've remained because I will stay and fight. I'm not going to go down with that one.
So how is this visitation working out now? Because there's a 7-year-old
Yes.
child involved,
Yes.
right? How is this being transpired?
We tried to keep our adult business is our adult business. When we did have his daughter for about a month and a half, things were great. We're on a schedule, running like a normal family. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Well, one thing I can't understand is why Diana still has visitation or still have custody of
She has custody, not visitation.
of that child. I mean, that somebody needs to file an emergency hearing in family court.
It's very sad.
Or was CPS involved?
Well, CPS came to investigate us.
Somebody needs to tell CPS about what happened in
We did.
your
We did.
and what did they say?
Well, actually, the lady that came to visit was a very nice lady. We sat down, we spoke with her for a very long time. She had a list. You know, it's one thing to make a CPS complaint and say something's going on over here, but when you have 50 items on that page, it's overkill. Okay. She knew it was a BS claim. And she just wanted to see the daughter. She sat, talked to her, hey, how are you doing? You're all right? Everything good? You know, there's nothing outrageous going on at our house. Right. We live a quiet family life. All the other allegations and things that she's tried to do is really reflects her own life and the things that she does in her life, not ours. She's destroyed our home. She's destroyed the foundation of our family that we had. Yes, it's a blended family from different families. That's, you know, people get divorced, people have kids, you have blended families. It's very common. Yeah. And it's also very common to get along with that person for the child's sake.
It's not common to run somebody through a house and then try to stab them.
No, it's not. It's not. But, you know, that's why I haven't gone to anybody. I feel like any public office that I do go to, she has a hand in it.
Well, you know something, my advice to you is to go to all these different entities, and then if they turn you down, then you record that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm learning now in this process. I don't readily have a family attorney standing by with papers for every mistake I make trying to clean up behind me. I don't do that. I'm living a normal life. I'm finding out a lot of things that I never knew before. Some of the things, it's common sense, but some other things, you know, having an attorney at your disposal, it makes it a little easier.
Especially one that's supposed to be the assistant city attorney of North Las Vegas.
Right. So I'm finding out a lot of things. A lot of agencies have been put before me to talk to, and that's going to come with time. Everything will come with time. Eventually, everything will be out there. Everybody will know the things that she's done, the things that she's covered up. Unfortunately, it might be an investigation to the criminal cases that she's been involved with. Because if she can see past what her sister has done, how can you prosecute somebody else and tell me that they're guilty? How many people are sitting in North Las Vegas jail that she's put there that have done the same crimes as her sister?
Or less.
She doesn't blink an eye at that.
Okay.
You know, how many families have been affected by these people? You know, and I say these people, meaning these Aguayo sisters. How many people have been affected by them? One's the criminal out doing dirt, and the other one's cleaning up her mess.
Right.
You know, that's not fair.
Who makes the other one an accomplice?
They're both accomplices to me.
Well, maybe once we have a meeting with the Clark County District Attorney, maybe we'll shed a little bit more light
I hope so.
on this, and you could reach some type of resolution or on your way to reaching one. But thank you for coming on the program.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
By the way.
Yeah.
It's very brave to do it.
You know, it does. I was very nervous. I'm a very private person. I like my privacy.
Right.
My life has been put under a microscope.
Right.
When that happens to you and you feel like you have no outlet or nobody to talk to, it's not a good feeling. It does not give you belief in the justice system and the people that are supposed to be there protecting you from the wrong.
Well, that's how we have advocacies born, and people get involved by being advocates or actually running for elected seats because they're tired of the injustice and the cover-up and the lies and the hypocrites that we elect and put them in office, or we elect somebody and they appoint them in office. But could you look into those cameras and act like you were speaking to the district attorney, Steve Wolfson, and what do you want to say to him, and what would you want as a resolution to fix these problems?
Honestly, in my case and several other cases, I just want the truth to be told. I want justice to be served. Anybody that's related to somebody that works in law enforcement shouldn't get a special pass, or somebody that works in a court system shouldn't get a special pass, or the freedom to do as they please, not adhere to the law because they're above it or they think they're above it. Justice is what I want. It doesn't have to be something outrageous. I don't wish anything bad on anyone, but what you did was a crime, and you deserve to be punished for it. I hope that me coming here today showing that, you know, it's not just my case, but it's several other things that somebody has done and got away with. You can only get away for so long, and karma is going to find you, you know? I don't know if... I really don't know what to say to Steve Wolfson, you know? I hope that he views this and he sees that, you know, it's not just somebody sitting here crying about, woe is me. This is an actual crime. These are actual crimes. I could have died. My partner Leo could have died. If she hit my daughter with the car, my daughter and grandchild could have died. This isn't a joke. It's not a laughing matter. It's not something to be brushed under the rug. It's something that needs to be looked at. If I can see through all the lies with these numbers and these papers, I'm sure a trained eye will see even more when they can pull the citations. You know?
Well, Bridget, thank you.
I hope that helps.
I'm sure it will. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Appreciate everything. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Folks, that's Bridget Kearns, who is a victim by the hands of North Las Vegas assistant city attorney's sister, who ironically is covering up a lot of these misdeeds for her sister as well, which is corruption and collusion, as they say, and Donald Trump collusion. But we're trying to,
Fake news.
This is not fake news. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it and help drain the swamp in Clark County, Nevada. This is Steve Sanson, Jim Jonas for Veterans in Politics. Until next time.